What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Road to Infinity War here at The Real Talk, where we're counting down and reviewing all the MCU films that come before Avengers Infinity War. They're just actually releasing just a few short weeks, guys. It's almost here. I cannot wait. But earlier this week, we did review Thor: The Dark World with my good friend Adam from Almost Sideways. So link to that's going to be in the description down below. But today, we're going to be talking about Captain America, The Winter Soldier, which released in 2014. Obviously starring Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Samuel Jackson, Robert Redford. Just another great stellar cast. And we do have another special guest, and that is Justin from Justin Watches Movies. So Justin, take it away, man.
Hey everybody, my name is Justin Watches Movies, and I'm here to review Captain America, The Winter Soldier with my good friend, The Real Talk. Thank you for asking me to be on your channel for this review leading up to Avengers Infinity War. And at the end of this review, I'm going to talk about my expectations for Avengers Infinity War. Captain America is one of my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe characters. The first Captain America movie I thought was very vintage, and I really loved that look. And this one is completely different than the first one, but very welcome. This is a very different Marvel film. It's not just a superhero film. It's also a political thriller, which I thought was a smart move on Marvel's part. Chris Evans once again plays Captain America Steve Rogers, and I think he does a great job. Not only does he play the part very well, he also looks the part of Captain America, and he definitely does a great job in this role. Also introducing into the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie, and I love Anthony Mackie as an actor, so I really did welcome him into this Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think he pairs nicely with Captain America. He doesn't put up with this stuff, but also is there to help him. I do love the villain of the Winter Soldier. We got to see him as Bucky Barnes in the first Captain America movie, but changing that up is something that's not really done into movies. You don't really get that good guy that turns into a villain, and it really tests who Captain America is. He could easily just try to kill him, but he knows deep down inside the Winter Soldier there is Bucky Barnes, and he doesn't want to hurt his friend. He doesn't want to end that friendship because they've had that strong bond in the first film that we saw, and it really affects Captain America's thoughts and emotions towards the Winter Soldier, and it really creates that conflict that was written so nicely in this movie. Captain America Winter Soldier was written to raise a lot of questions in further Captain America movies, which I thought was very smart. This movie is fantastic. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. I love Chris Evans in here. Anthony Mackie is great. The villain of the Winter Soldier. The story for this movie is really tight, and the action is just top notch. And I have to give the Captain America movie Winter Soldier an A. Thank you for The Real Talk for asking me to be on your channel to talk about Captain America The Winter Soldier. I'm so much looking forward to Avengers Infinity War. I heard it's going to be the longest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think that's okay because you have like 20 Marvel characters fighting for screen time, and I want everybody to get enough screen time to where I feel like that person was really cool. I really love seeing that person. I think Thanos is going to be a very intimidating villain. I think he's going to test the characters like no other villain has done in the past. It's going to be visually stunning. New Spider-Man suit. This movie is just going to be so cool, and I can't wait for it to come out April 27th. So thank you, Real Talk, for asking me to be on your channel once again. Make sure to come over to my channel. I do movie reviews just like the Real Talk. I promise my voice isn't like this for all videos. I'm just getting over a cold right now, but thank you again for asking me to be on your channel, and I can't wait to see more of your videos leading up to Avengers Infinity War.
Justin, thank you so much for that review of Captain America The Winter Soldier, and thank you for stopping by on this Road to Infinity War with me. I really appreciate it. And guys, if you guys haven't checked out Justin's channel, links to his channel and social media is going to be in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit him up. He has tons of great content, from movie reviews to collections, hauls and stuff like that. He just does it all, so make sure to check him out. So now let's get to my thoughts for Captain America The Winter Soldier. So first of all, again, with my experience for the film, it was coming out, it was fresh out of Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 3, and this year we're going to be getting Captain America and a movie called Guardians of the Galaxy. What is that, right? But first off, we had Captain America, and to be honest, back then I really liked Captain America, but it wasn't one of my favorite MCU films, and it now slowly has been. So with this movie, the trailers looked amazing, and I don't know, when I first saw it, I got out of the theater and I was just blown away from that opening shot. I still remember being seated at the theaters. The credits roll, the Marvel logo comes out, and then you just see the little lake, and you see Anthony Mackie just running, and then Steve Rogers coming on your left. And just, I remember that moment and saying, you know what? This movie's going to be different. But yeah, like I said earlier, I do love the film. It's one of my favorite films in the MCU. But I do have just a few nitpicks with it. And first of all, just the prosthetics on Peggy Carter. I know, it just ticks me off. It just looks weird. It doesn't look like she's naturally old. But again, that's a minor nitpick, and I do have one more negative. Alright, so my final negative with the film is kind of like the jokes of the film. It does have like some light, comedy throughout the film, and it works, especially like the whole man at a time, and they always make fun of Steve for being old and stuff like that. But there was this one joke in particular that kind of took me off this time around. Is that's when like Robert Redford's character was talking to Nick Fury. He's like, hey, like, okay, I'll do this for you, but you gotta get Iron Man to stop by my part. I don't know, like, it just seemed kind of off. And like it kind of seemed forced, and that's what I don't like about some of the MCU films. Sometimes they do have like forced comedy like that, or you can tell. And this movie doesn't have much of it, but it, like this time around, like the ones that it does have, I caught on more and kind of like, okay, you could have done without that joke. But that is it. That was just a minor little nitpick. Now let's get to my positives. First and foremost, guys, I want to mention that Captain America, my favorite superhero in the comics and everything like that, is Bruce Banner Hulk. And I've said that before, but in the MCU, I love Hulk and I love Bruce Banner. I love Mark Ruffalo, and I really enjoyed Edward Norton as well. But just Captain America, Chris Evans just brings something special to him. And I don't know if he's like this in the comics. From what I read, he's kind of like that. From I think I read like Civil War and a few other things that he's been in. But I haven't really dived into Captain America in the comics. But just in the MCU, like I said, he's becoming my favorite character, and I cannot wait to see what they do with him in Avengers Infinity War. I'm kind of scared, but this film just solidified that for me, because his character and his arc in this film does a good job with a lot of things, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. It really impacts the MCU going forward, but it also, not only that, but it's a really good arc for I was going to say Tony Stark for some reason, Steve Rogers as well, because he's just a man at a time. He's trying to be loyal to S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that. Like, that's all he's ever known. And then just all these things is happening, but in the midst of like S.H.I.E.L.D. being Hydra and stuff like that, Bucky's here. Like, that's his only friend. Like, after, like, besides Peggy, that's the only connection he has with his past. And just the things that they do with that story, it's just amazing. And I think that has to be one of the biggest positives for me, that this is not only a like Justin said, a political thriller, but this is just a friend about a movie about a friend that doesn't have anything, but he does have his best friend. He's just still alive. What does he do? How does he go upon doing his missions and stuff like that? So that's what I gotta say, that the positive for me is Steve Rogers' character and his arc in this film. And along with that, one of the reasons why it's so great is Chris Evans, his performance. I feel like he's starting to be more comfortable in this role as Captain America, and they really do use a lot of his powers. I think the Russos did an incredible job in kind of saying, okay, he's a superhero, but why is he so special? Why is he, powerful and stuff like that? And like that beginning scene where in the boats, man, they just like, Cap just throws his shield, knocks some guy out of the boat. He also kicks someone off the boat. He kicks someone. Like, it's just so awesome. That's another thing about the film, that the action scenes are so well done. It's something we haven't seen in the MCU. They're super, like, just really well done. Like, the whoever choreographed it, it doesn't even seem choreographed. It just seems like they're fighting, and it's just something we haven't seen, that type of fighting skill like that Cap has and the Winter Soldier has. It's something really cool to see on the big screen. So also the action scenes, like that moment where Nick Fury is trying to escape and trying to not die, that scene was incredible. It's always a pleasure to see it. I saw it in downstairs in my 4K TV and stuff like that. It was just amazing with my surround sound. I'm not trying to, but it was just so, like, this time I've seen the film like 10 times and it still kind of engages me and kind of keeps me entertained. And it's just such a thrilling moment. So all those have to be positive. So let's go on to my next one. All right, so I want to talk about how it is emotional. Like I said, for Steve Rogers' character, he's trying to do, like, first of all, Hydra's come back. He kind of died for nothing. Hydra's come back, so he's dealing with that. He's dealing with still being the man out of time. And then he finds out that his best friend, and also the whole thing with Peggy, that scene just really got me this time. You know, he's kind of like trying to have a conversation, and you know, we find out that she has Alzheimer's, and that really sucks. You know, but he still goes out his way to see her. And then, you know, he's dealing with that, and then he's dealing with Bucky still being alive, and what does he do? Like, this is his best friend, so like that way at the end when they're both fighting, when he finally takes on the ship, you know, he gets shot, so he's kind of struggling with that. He wants to save Bucky, but Bucky's still kind of like messed up. So just that aspect, I found that this time around was a little bit kind of like emotional, not too much, but it really got to me, you know. And also, like I said earlier, this movie had a quite of an impact on the MCU going forward, because you had SHIELD. You had this organization that kind of brought everybody together, you know? But now it was, you know, infiltrated and compromised by Hydra. So it's like, now SHIELD is destroyed. They don't have that. And everything, you know, like Natasha Romanoff or Black Widow did at the end, she released a lot of things to the public, you know, about SHIELD. So like now moving forward, everything's kind of wide in the open, you know. That's why I think Age of Ultron takes advantage of that and stuff like that. And it's just like, it really impacted the MCU moving forward, and it wasn't like a gimmick in the script or something like that. Like, they weren't, you know, just throwing it in there to move the story along and stuff like that. So that's what I gotta say. They really did a good job in that this time around. So with that being said, guys, I have to give Captain America the Winter Soldier a 9 out of 10. This is probably one of my favorite films in the entire MCU. It's probably top 3 for sure. It's just, like I said, it had everything for me. It's different from your normal, you know, average superhero film, and something different from the MCU as well. And you have Cap and his arc, and just it was emotional, and just the action and the use of his powers, just everything about the film. Like Justin said, it's a political thriller, so I really enjoyed that of the film. So yeah, I actually can't wait to see it again next time around. But alright guys, let us know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Captain America the Winter Soldier. And guys, stay tuned next week, because we're going to have 2 reviews again. That is going to be for Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Age of Ultron. We're moving right along with the Road to Infinity War. And yeah guys, with that being said, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Real Talk with 2 Ks, and you guys can also find me on Stardust doing my early reactions to movies and TV shows, just at The Real Talk. Until next week, until next time guys, I'll see you at the movies. Later.